back, ladies and gentlemen. NFC East Report Week 2 coming at you right here. Brandon Bailey, a.k.a. Preston Quinn in the professional wrestling circuit, and Romanus Gamertag on PlayStation 4 at the moment, because there just aren't any PlayStation 5s that are reasonably priced. Let's be honest. Sony has dropped the ball, but that's, speaking of dropping the ball, we got to talk about, we're going to kick it off. What a segue into this week's broadcast. Dropping the ball. We need to talk about the New York Football Giants taking on the Washington football team. Those scrappy football team players. You know, I kind of thought Washington was going to run away with this one. I was pretty sure of it, but there's a definite narrative that I see going on with Washington. And Washington's defense kind of sucks. I said it. Washington's defense is kind of sucking. I never would have thought. The analyst that I am, I did not see this coming. Did I see the Giants sucking? Yes, I did. But Washington's defense, if you had to ask me any constant that was going to be in the NFC East, I was sure that was going to be it. Regardless, if you watch the game, we all know who the MVP for the Washington football team was, and that was Darius Slayton. And you say, how the hell? He's a Giants receiver. Yeah, that's right. Because when you running 20 yards wide open and a ball hits you in both hands and you drop it, you are clearly the MVP for the other team. So right off the top, you know who's getting it. The Bird Award to Darius Slayton for dropping the ball right in his damn hands. Could have been the game winner. Only Brute would take the stink off that drop. Brute, ladies and gentlemen, slap a little Brute on. You never know how many ladies you'll be trying to kick off you once they get a good whiff of some Brute classic. All right, now let's talk a little bit about the Giants. Daniel Jones, really, I mean, he almost 100 yards rushing, which, you know, I take that with a grain of salt. A rushing quarterback is a quarterback that can't find an open receiver, or doesn't know how to, but that's here and there. Daniel Jones, 22 of 32, 249 yards and a touchdown. He also ran one in. Daniel Jones played a much better game this week. He actually has the second highest rating as a quarterback by PFF, next to Tom Brady, which is a lot of surprising for everybody. But hey, it is what it is. If the kid could hold on to the football and had some pocket awareness a little bit, he'd probably be all right. Regardless, New York Football Giants are what they thought, are what we thought they were. Anybody that thought any different, you know, you fooling yourselves. The Giants do tend to get better as the season goes on. So, you know, if they don't dig too much of a hole, the East is still not that strong. Which brings me now. The Washington football team. Taylor Heinecke. What do y'all think about him? Leave in the comments what you think about the current performance of Taylor Heinecke. Because Taylor Heinecke, for those who don't know, 34-46, 336 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. But Heineke's playing good football. Now, my issue with a quarterback that plays good out of the box is there's not a lot of footage on him. Defensive coordinators don't know what his A game is. They can't push him to his B game or take it, or even his C game. So right now, Taylor Heinecke has the best chance to look good early while he's still learning the position. And he's taking advantage of that. Nobody can take that away from the guy. I don't know that Fitzpatrick has a job when he gets back. with all due respect to the veteran, I would not pull Heinecke at this time. His release a little weird on some stuff. I'm watching some highlights now, and there's a nice pass over the middle to Brown, but it almost looked like a sidearm release, and that's going to hurt you in the long run. You gotta try to get that overhand release a little higher. Start watching Drew Brees if you're too short. But anyway, Washington football team did what they had to do, but god dang, their defense, man. Again, their defense. The Washington football team defense is supposed to be their crutch that holds them up. And it's porous right now. And I think if they don't fix that, if they don't figure out what magic they had last year, that will be their undoing. They are not a team built to win a shootout, although they did beat the Giants 30-29. But it was the New York Football Giants, and right now I would still consider them one of the worst teams in the National Football League. But aside from that, Washington now sitting at 1-1, could very easily be 2-0 and very easily be 0-2. So it's still early in the season, and I don't want to do any, as we like to refer to, recent bias. And that's where you take the most recent games as your whole outlook on what's going to happen, and that hurts you when you do stuff like that. Now we're going to move on to Fly, Eagles, Fly. Whatever the hell that song's supposed to be, I just know it's horrible. Jalen Hurts, I told y'all last week that he ain't the answer, and he comes out this week and gets his ass kicked by the San Francisco 49ers. Everybody going to talk about, but it was 17-11. It was a close one. No, it wasn't. The Eagles scored in garbage time. They allowed that man to run that damn ball probably 60 damn yards down the sideline. And then, before he steps out of bounds, he gets hit, and they still called the personal foul on the guy and give him another 15. But, it is what it is. They knew Philadelphia wasn't going to come back and win regardless. But the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, 12 of 23, 190 yards. That's meager stats in today's NFL. It's horrible, actually. 10 carries for 82 yards and a touchdown. Again, a quarterback running the football is another turd in the toilet as far as I go when it comes to the National Football League. It just means that you are inadequate in other areas and that you decide to run too many times. Or you got a terrible coach if he's the one calling that stuff. The defense for Philadelphia played pretty good considering they were against the San Francisco 49ers. Garoppolo, only 22 of 30 for 189 yards and a touchdown, but Garoppolo is not anybody that's going to blow you out with big numbers. He never has been. He's not. I don't think Garoppolo is as good as he was originally billed to be. He's pretty good. He's a decent quarterback, but I don't think Garoppolo is one of them guys with the game on the line is going to drive you down the football field. You understand what I'm saying? So, anyway, fly, Eagles, fly. You're now going to trend to the bottom of the NFC East where you belong, because that's pretty much where everybody thought you was going to be. Now we get to the game of the week. The game y'all was waiting for. Goodness. Let's see right here. Let's scroll down. Ooh, look at that right there. Look at that. In the second half of the day Sunday, we were treated to the Dallas Cowboys visiting, look at that play, the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm just watching a highlight right there. Saw a guy get dusted off in the end zone. Who was that? Goodness. How's that not pass interference? Regardless, that was Amari Cooper. Regardless. What a game. The Cowboys come out looking like they were ready to blow this thing out. But the Chargers, ladies and gentlemen, I said it last week. I'm saying it again. The Los Angeles Chargers are a playoff-bound football team. Justin Herbert as a quarterback, he is hell on wheels for a second-year guy. He shows a lot of promise. Man. Regardless, The Dallas Cowboys march right down the field on the opening drive, utilizing Tony Pollard, who I believe may have an extra gear that Zeke doesn't have anymore. And I think people are going to start finding that out. Look for Pollard to get more in the game plan as the year goes on. I think I'm feeling like maybe some tread is off the tire on Zeke. That's the same line blocking for both guys, and one of them's running up yards and the other one ain't. So take that for what it's worth. Hope I'm wrong. Regardless, Dallas goes out, takes an early 14-3 lead. Actually get an interception on Herbert early. And, right into it, the Dallas Cowboys defense leads the NFL in takeaways after 2 weeks with 6 takeaways in the first 2 weeks of the season. That's right, 6 takeaways in the first 2 weeks of the season. That's a good sign. I don't know that keeps up. We'll see. You need that. But one thing when it comes to Dallas that people need to be worried about was we showed both sides of the football the first 2 weeks of the season. We showed we could throw the football in week 1. We showed we could run the football from its 198 yards against the Chargers between Pollard, Zeke, and them. But they, as Kellen Moore said, we will aggressively take what they give us, and that is exactly what they're doing right now. I think as fans of other teams, you need to not want to see that. You do not want to see that Dallas can play both facets of the offense, and you do not want to see that their defense is getting turnovers. Now, they're not stopping a lot of people. Scoreboard-wise, they did this week, only allowing 17, but there were some points left out there on the field. The Chargers played a little bit sloppy. But we had 5 starters out, both edge rushers out. And can we give a round of applause to Micah Parsons? My goodness, Micah Parsons. The man was a linebacker, hadn't played edge rush defensive end since high school. He came in, not only did he get the most pressures of the week, he caused all kinds of havoc, sacks, the whole 9 yards in the backfield. This guy, what a pickup for the Dallas Cowboys. I was not on the Parsons bandwagon during the draft, but I'm telling you right now, Micah Parsons is ridiculous. He is ridiculous. He's on that Chase Young pedestal out there in Washington. I mean, wow. Right away impact player. But regardless, Greg the Leg, when the game was tied 17-17, Dak gets them down the field. Clutch moment for Dak. That's where you earn your money, Dak. And you went down there and you got them in there. 56-yard field goal by Greg the Leg. Dallas wins 20-17 to the dismay of everybody on my feed. So regardless, I got to have a drink right here, ladies and gentlemen. Leftist tears always make my drink taste better. I don't know about smell. Goodness. Brought to you by my friend Ben Shapiro at the Daily Wire. This right here. Goodness. By the way, if you need to get your hands on some Scentsy warmers to make your room not smell like socks and ass crack, get yourself a Scentsy warmer with Scentsy Wax, because daggone, that stuff sure smells good. I know, because my daughters will not allow my house not to smell like that 110% of the time. If you need some Scentsy, you hit up April Lawson, you contact the show, and I'll get you in so that you can get you some nice warmers for the holidays or for fall to celebrate the holidays coming. So, as we said, Brute goes to Slayton. Darius Slayton. Leftist tears always taste the best. And the Dallas Cowboys are the best team in the NFC East. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.